this narrative on the Fresh and Fit podcast that Myron is the brains and Fresh is just the networker who keeps the show going. But this recent debate, Fresh actually proved that Myron is actually the dummy and he's actually the smart one. You see, Fresh challenged Myron's kink or humiliation. You see, Myron has this weird thing where he just gravitates towards men who don't like him, right? Men who believe that his kind shouldn't exist, shouldn't be in this country. Myron gravitates to those men and try to earn their validation. Fresh called out this thing that Myron does where when Myron wants to suck off whatever white supremacist he wants to suck off that day, he just throws away logic. He throws away his brain in an attempt to suck off whoever he wanted to suck off that day, right? So they started to debate Nick Fuentes' arrest, and Myron throws common sense out the way. Myron throws his wealth of knowledge for the law out the window. So Nick Fuentes was recently arrested because this insane woman came to his house, right? He got doxxed. She came to his house, and she just rang his doorbell, but had her camera out. Now, when she rang his doorbell, he opened up the door, pepper sprayed her, pushed her down the stairs, and grabbed her phone. So they were debating, is the arrest legal or not, all right? Should Nick Fuentes have been arrested for pepper spraying this woman and pushing her down the stairs?
Yeah, so I guess switching topics here real quick. So for those of you that are unaware, Nick Fuentes was arrested earlier today for, for basically battery. And this occurred after a woman went to his house after saying that she was going to go to his house and confront him as a neo-Nazi, etc.
I want to point out quickly when Myron explains why the woman pulls up, he says to confront him as a neo-Nazi or whatever. He puts it in quotation as if the neo-Nazi title is some type of far-fetched, like, drama mill. No, that title is something that Nick Fuentes himself has taken on with pride. So even with something that Nick Fuentes himself admits he is, Myron still won't just call it down the line.
So this woman decides to show up to his house and knock on the door. And Nick basically pushes her down the steps. It was like 2 steps.
Ready to connect.
Pushes her down the steps and maces her. He pushed her down, etc. And he took her phone and ended up giving it back. Cops show up, etc. And now, a month or so later, he gets arrested for this, right? So probably a detective took on the case. They decided to prosecute him. He gets arrested. It seems like he's released now. It's a misdemeanor charge, just battery. But I think this speaks volumes to where we are in America. And what I've realized ever since the George Floyd riots and Minneapolis being burned down to the ground, there's been an enormous amount of pressure on DAs and law enforcement to take cases criminally that get national news or notoriety. And obviously, if you Google Nick, the left doesn't like him, right? They label him as a racist, whatever racist pejorative term you want to use, right?
Bro believed that Nick Fuentes' arrest represents this country going down the wrong path. Listen, bruh. Now, if you tell me that a thug pulled up to Nick Fuentes' house with weapons on him, looking to enter his home, and Nick Fuentes popped out and did what he did, that's a little different. If you tell me a woman in her 50s pulled up with no weapons but a phone in her hand, rang the doorbell, didn't try to intrude the home, just simply rang the doorbell, and the moment Nick Fuentes opened the door, he began attacking her, that's not self-defense, bro, all right? Like, that's not protecting the castle doctrine, all right? Now, listen, we can have two different opinions on this. We can say, well, Nick Fuentes deserves to get arrested based on the law, and we can also have an opinion of, hey, listen, bro, I would have reacted the same way in taking the charge. Saying I would have reacted the same way in taking the charge is a little different than saying, hey, bro, Nick Fuentes shouldn't get arrested for pushing a 50-plus-year-old woman down the stairs and pepper spraying her and taking her phone hostage. Yo, if you believe that that's injustice, bro, then wait till you hear what happened to people that look like you, Myron. Just wait till you hear that, all right? Now, Myron starts to blame this on George Floyd, starts to blame this on the corrupt police department. Now, I'm not even saying that the police department didn't see this and probably was incentivized to arrest Nick Fuentes because it was a sexy case. Probably. But to say he didn't deserve to get arrested is absurd. And Fresh thinks so too.
they're going to be like, you know what, let's go ahead and just like, prosecute this case. He's probably more than likely I think he's going to beat this case with a half competent lawyer. He'll be able to articulate like, look, this is self-defense. This woman came to his fucking door, blah, blah, blah. But I think where we are now as a nation is they'd rather prosecute first, ask questions later, and then let the person get exonerated by a jury of their peers. Surprise.
My question is, what force did she apply to him directly? What force?
She came right up to his front door.
But what did she do? Forcefully. Because imagine this, right? So someone walks up to you, they didn't do nothing, you hit them. Who's in trouble? You, right?
Well, she did make a threat right before on YouTube saying, not on YouTube, on Facebook saying like, I'm gonna go confront him, whatever.
Confronting doesn't mean violence. Like her saying, I'm pulling up to confront him about his comments, about women, could mean, probably most likely meant I'm pulling up to have a conversation about what he said about women bodies. Now, I do believe the comment Nick Fuentes said was a funny, silly joke. Her pulling up is going a little bit overboard, but nonetheless, though, you see, one, can Nick Fuentes prove that he's seen that particular tweet before she got there, and that's why he was on edge? Because if it's going to be self-defense, then he has to prove exactly why he acted in the manner in which he acted for that particular lady. Because if Nick Fuentes was terrified and scared, he could have closed the door and called the police, right? The fact that Nick Fuentes opened the door, confronted her, maced her, and pushed her down, that's no longer self-defense, right? So now Fresh expresses that, and Myron's reaction to what Fresh is saying, it's hilarious and horrifying at the same time.
And do what?
We don't know. And he didn't know.
But if someone's talking to you and you hit them, and they didn't touch you, is that self-defense?
Well, why wait and find out?
But okay, isn't self-defense you defend yourself when they attack you?
Yeah, she went to his house.
But she didn't attack him.
Doesn't matter, went to his house. You don't know what she's going to do. I wouldn't chance it either. Someone shows up at your front door that you don't know on some weirdo shit, like, first thing you did was create distance right away.
But okay, hold on.
Pushed her off the thing.
If someone comes to my door, I don't know, I'm not opening the door, period. If you're going to do that, like... Listen, I'm not saying that what he did wasn't justified because of his actual threats and all that stuff. I'm just saying she didn't attack him directly. So they can argue and say, listen, she didn't even touch him. He pushed her and maced her.
Fresh has publicly denounced Nick Fuentes, Zerka, and the rest of Myron off-the-wall friends, which is why, I'll be real, if they sort of stick with this dynamic, I will get back into watching Fresh and Fit full-time again, bro. Me seeing Fresh really grow his confidence in being a thought leader and being a speaker, I feel like that's needed, bro. Right? Because without Fresh, all we get is Myron just spewing. Because at this, Myron is a former cop. Myron is a former detective. Myron understands, bro, what Nick Fuentes did ain't go it ain't flying. But Myron has to defend his guy, right? Myron knows, bro. You just can't attack anybody who shows up at your door, bro. All right? So what? If somebody rings my doorbell, bro, all right, and I don't recognize them, I can come outside pushing them down my stairs and pepper spraying them off the rip with no questions asked? And you think that's self-defense? It's obviously not, right? So Fresh is calling it out, man, but Myron just remains delusional. But it gets to a point where even the chat is saying, Fresh is cooking right now, which is, for the chat to be on Fresh's side, that's how you know Myron is tripping.
Good.
And in the court...
I think she's lucky that he only did that.
And in the court, they're going to argue, it's an old lady that's one of them? Oh, you're cooked. That's my thing.
I think if he has a halfway competent lawyer, he'll be able to... Because, bro, you've been getting... death threats, someone shows up at your house, are you going to sit there and chance it like, oh yeah, let me open the door and see what she's going to do? No, then it gave her the fucking Spartan kick, bro.
This is Sparta!
Bitch, I'm not going to even give you the chance to do some shit.
Because if I'm smart, he played into their hands directly. Because now they got him dead right.
And also keep in mind, people were mailing shit to his house. So
why open up the door?
He don't know what she was doing. Like, hey, don't drop shit off at my front door.
If I see somebody that I don't know or trust, nigga, I'm not opening no damn door. Like, bro, you might kind of shoot me. So if that's the case, listen, I'm thinking logically here.
Fresh, that's the problem, bro. You're using logic. You're using logic to try to dissect this. you're using logic, all right? You're here using logic, trying to understand Myron's irrational D-riding, right? Now, Myron has no response, right? No retort to Fresh's logic, man. So Myron just doubled down some more on the D-riding.
So I don't know. Like I said, I think he was 100% justified and it was I think 1,000% justified, given the nature of what happened. Someone that's been in his shoes before with this type of shit happening before, I 1,000% think that she's lucky she only got Mason kicked. To be honest with you. Now, granted, I think the issue here is that he lives in Illinois. If he did this in Florida, he would have been fine.
My problem is she didn't forcefully attack him, or in any case, incite violence to him, and he attacked her first. So
she stepped on his property.
Doesn't matter. She didn't physically attack him.
Doesn't matter. She shouldn't be there.
Is there a sign saying don't trespass? No. So listen, I get it. Imagine this was a mailman that came to his door.
Oh, nigga, that's different.
Hold on.
A mailman.
Follow me here. Imagine somebody's there. He may not know why they're there, and he's triggered because of his death threats and attacks them. Isn't that the same thing?
No, not at all, because the mailman has a duty to be there. He has a right to be there. He's supposed to be there. He's fulfilling a obligation to his job. He's wearing a uniform. He's clearly a distinguished member of society that this is his job.
This is where we turn it off. Myron is acting purposely dumb, right? Try not to follow Fresh's logic. Not a mailman. Take the mailman out of it. Any service worker. Let's say they're coming in regular clothes. Or let's say it's somebody who is coming to drop off something, right? Or let's say it's somebody who's lost. They're just coming to ask for directions. You think that you're allowed to attack them because they come and ring your doorbell? That's not how. Listen, that's not how the law works, homie. All right, that's not how it works. And Myron knows this, bro. But shout out to Fresh, yo. Fresh is easily becoming, in my opinion, bro, a better orator. I know you. I know what y'all might say, but Fresh is becoming a better orator. Fresh is also becoming, in my opinion, right, more thought-provoking in terms of how he challenges Myron. When Myron gets on that white supremacist, all hail to the field art student, Fresh says, hey, bro, I'm not with that. I'm not on that, bro. I'm not with that cocooning. So shout out to Fresh, man. All right, y'all let me know in the comment section, man. Do y'all feel, right, like, again, not what y'all think in terms of what you think is right. Do y'all feel legally Nick Fuentes is going to beat this? Let me know in the comment section. If you're still watching this, man, click on this video right here somewhere on my screen. Somewhere here. It might be here, man. To find out, man, how Nick Fuentes almost got smoked. I'm talking about brain cap smoked for playing with the culture. I'm going to see you guys in this video. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.